Hello YouTube, my name is Kevin and this is the Save Room, and today we're talking about Judgment. And Judgment is very fucking good. There's no other way to put it. I'm having a blast with this game. It is from the studio that brought you all of the Yakuza games, that is, gonna butcher this one, Ryu Ga Gotoku, and it uses the engine and, of course, the setting of the Yakuza games, Kamurocho, which actually is such a cool thing to have that level of familiarity where you know where to go, like, all the stores are there, all the shops, Don Quixote, this fucking park from the Yakuza games is there. It's so interesting, but it is a new game with a new story. It has very strong ties to Yakuza, but it's telling a new story about Yagami, who is an ex-lawyer turned private detective. Apparently he got a serial killer off for murder without thinking that he was a serial killer, and then said serial killer went and killed. So he had a tough time with that and decided to turn in his lawyer badge and become a leather-clad detective, beating up thugs and Yakuza in the dark, and doing basically for-hire gigs. And that can range anywhere from tailing people and taking snapshots, you know, of their infidelities, to solving major fucking crimes. Like this main mission right here, you're going after the, like an ice pick killer that Yagami likes to call the Mole. And his whole thing is, well, he gouges out people's eyes with an ice pick. And that's pretty awful. You have your fighting mechanics, you have your open world, you have your, you know, goofy kind of humor that is known for the Yakuza games, but the bent here is that it's actually a really good detective game. Some people have called it, like, Phoenix Wright with fighting mechanics, essentially. And you have to piece together clues, you have a dossier where you're looking through evidence, and you have to basically kind of study all of the facts in front of you and use that to make your case or get you to the next clue, which is really a joy. It's one of the cooler parts of the game, on top of Yakuza's already great foundation. It's a blast so far. I'm about 8 hours into the game, and already I've run into a lot of different side characters. You can go on little friendship missions. I've, run into thugs in the street where you have to dispatch them left and right. I've used some mechanics like, you're a detective, so you're picking locks, you're putting on disguises, you're using a fucking drone to spy on people and running into a bunch of cats for some reason. It does recycle some animations and some things like the EX moves from the Yakuza games, but through and through, it's a brand new game, and probably one of I would say probably the best looking game out of Yakuza and this franchise combined. This is a cool one right here. So you use your drone to spy on people and figure out how you're going to get into a building. This is all part of like a larger mission where you got to figure out how to sneak into this, the headquarters of this gang, essentially, and get the information that you want. So, you know, Yagami's not Kiryu. Like, he's not, you know, he never gets a gun, he's not gonna kill anybody. Later on, you'll actually see him save somebody because, you know, he comes from the righteous side of the law, essentially. But he got a big distaste in his mouth for the court system after kind of fucking up. It's got an interesting story. It has that layer of cheese that we've come to know all of the Yakuza games for, but there's this heartfelt undercurrent, and it's a genuinely interesting detective story, to be honest with you. I really like the main missions that I've been taking on so far. This is a cool one. You disguise yourself and as a repairman to break into the gang headquarters. Like, this shit's so fun, man. I don't know what to tell you. It plays really well. The interactions are neat, they're a joy. The environments are cool, and of course, it's just more detail on top of detail. Like, we've been coming to Kamurocho since, the PS2 days, and yet here it is, in 2019, looking fucking glorious. Yeah, you gotta trick this lady. You'll have a lot of moments where you get to like kind of explore the environment and look for clues and look for like little puzzles and such in order to move on in the game, which is neat because if you remember Yakuza, yeah, you had your side missions and mini games and such, but they all ended up with the same way, which was Kiryu gets into a giant fucking fight. And not to say that doesn't happen here, but this game more often than not relies on your detective skills than it does your fighting skills. But of course, you're also increasing your prowess in battle, like your EX moves, where you hit triangle to do a massive attack against somebody that breaks their balls or their face. You're also like increasing your health and your power, your damage output, all that. So everything that you've known, like the last few Yakuzas for, is here. But there's just this extra, really awesome layer that's not tacked on. It's not tacked on. It is like the through line to the game is you are a detective, man. Oh, I love this. You just gotta fool people. Like, yeah, I'm the other repairman. And you'll even have these moments where, based off of the evidence that you gather, you have to present it to characters, very Phoenix Wright style, to get like the right response from them, or get some vital information to bring your case together. And you could fuck that up, but I love going back and going like, oh man, what was the thing that kind of stood out about this crime? Oh yeah, there was no blood at the crime scene, indicating that the body was moved here. And you present that, and I even had a moment where a guy was like, oh yeah, that's really compelling evidence. Actually, let me tell you more. That shit's cool. I really, really like this game. If you've never played a Yakuza game, I think you'll be okay. Of course, if you have played Yakuza, especially the newer ones, and I'm pointing to the Kiwami games and Yakuza 6, you're especially gonna jive on this. Even though it doesn't have the characters that you're familiar with, I think you'll still love the shit out of this. But for newcomers, this is probably a good onboarding point because this is technically, it's a new franchise. It's a new thing. It is Judgment, also known as Judge Eyes in Japan. The correct title, if you ask me. Look at this. What a hero he is. What a hero Yagami is. Oh, man. And the game looks great, too. You get into these huge fights. It's a great brawler. It's a great adventure game. It's a great story game. It's a great detective game. It has been a surprise how good this game is, like right out of the box. Like this is not just them reskinning Yakuza and just putting it on shelves. They really put a lot of thought and care into this world and into these characters. It's so good. But of course, all the fundamentals of Yakuza are there, getting into these one-on-one fights with people that have fucking Super Saiyan glowies coming out of their body. Smashing faces. It's all there, man. It's all there. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I'm going to see this one through to the end. I'm only in I think I'm in chapter 3, and if it's anything like the other Yakuza, it's probably got like, 15 or so chapters. So a meaty game to bite into for sure. There you go. Get him. Get him. God, some of the new EX moves are so cool. I like the situational ones. You have a few, like that one when you're down on the ground. You can do a leapfrog on enemies and then do like a little EX move to just bash them. And then there's these chase missions that they have here, which it's all quick time based, but honestly, it has no right being as good as it is. Like, this is fun. And you're chasing this guy who's apparently a part of QAnon. I don't know what's going on with this side plot here, but I hope it evolves a little bit more. Yeah, so I gotta tell you, I thoroughly recommend this game. It is a lot of fun. I can't wait to play more. I've been spending all my time to, and I've been having a hard time just like focusing on, finding the right game to sit down with. Like I said, Days Gone kind of bucked me off because I was getting bored with it. This one, I'm never bored when I play this game. I want to spend all my time with this fucking game. And there seems to be like more stuff after the fact. Even when you beat the campaign, there's like an adventure mode you can go back into. I think one of the other Yakuzas had that too, so that's pretty neat. Oh, Yagami. What a pretty man. I want to dress like Yagami. I'm just gonna get a short leather jacket that doesn't quite fit me and a gigantic wallet chain. Look at this man. I feel like I should have edited in the power of love on this scene. I didn't. Now we're just doing commentary. I ran out of things to say about this game. It's fucking great. I think I said that 5 times already. I recommend it. Alright guys, I'm going to cut off now. I've been Kevin, this is The Save Room. Play Judgment. Or Judge.